Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, feels good to be back.
I know it's been a minute, shame. Like we're so unloyal.
Listen, we're gonna try from now onwards.
Yeah, shame.
For
It's
this
live,
segment
but
of
I
the
feel
channel.
like that's what we always say, because we're gonna try. It's live, guys.
We need somebody in the comments to hold us accountable.
It's live,
To
guys.
send us a DM or a WhatsApp message
I'm
anytime
not
to say
even.
you haven't inboxed. You haven't uploaded.
in a while.
Guys, what's happening?
Yo,
So
it's live, guys.
accountability.
Yeah, I think I opened up in one of the first videos just about how hectic things are right now. I think for both of us,
Yeah.
we're both in a very fruitful but also very challenging and I don't know, like demanding season.
We're
in our-
basically in our building phase. We're setting up
Yeah.
foundations for the things that we're doing. And setting up foundations, I think, require
Time.
more of your time.
and
because,
energy.
Yeah, whatever you're setting up is for the long run. But for those who haven't been to this channel before or who haven't been to this segment of the channel, welcome.
Welcome.
My name
Nice
is
to have you.
Omawanda Mapumulo, and this is my beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, extravagant wife.
Hi guys, my name is Ngobile. Welcome, hope you guys are good. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. Nice to have you back. And if you're a newbie, I hope you guys stay. I hope that you find our content useful. And yeah, let's engage. This is a place where we share life.
This is a safe
right?
space.
This is a safe space. So
She
we're not
always says that.
experts. Yes, that's my line. That's my line when I want to get people to start telling me secrets. To start telling me their secrets. But I think what we wanted to say first is to just reiterate the fact that, you know, this is our safe space that we're letting you guys into.
That's so true.
And having said that, I just want to sit on the fact that, I mean, we're not relationship experts.
We're not experts. Actually,
relationship
honestly speaking,
experts.
we're not experts in anything. I think we had
Besides
this
our careers.
conversation. Yeah, we had a conversation before this that what we do when we chat on this channel, we actually just speak about the things that we talk about
In
at
our
home or
private.
while we're driving, just whatever thoughts that pick up. That's what we speak about.
Yeah.
So when we're here, we don't want people to think we're experts. We're just
Everything's set
bringing
in stone.
Yeah, it's just a conversation and we're bringing people in on our conversation. And another thing that I'm very mindful of is that there's something that one of our mentors says. It says, you build truth on truth.
Yeah.
So what we might speak about this time in terms of this topic, next year we might speak about the same topic,
But differently.
but differently because we understand a different truth of the same topic. So I don't think things are set in stone
Yeah.
so much. So what are we
Yeah.
talking about today?
Today we're going to be speaking about two of the most common questions that we've asked each other, but that we've also had quite a few people ask us. And I think we've had this conversation before, but we're just like, hey, let's let people in on our thoughts. Let's let people in on our perception regarding these two topics.
That's true. Because we also, even within the two of us, we also have different perceptions and different ways
yeah,
that we see things, even though it
Yeah.
might be similar, but they're not always the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
What
So-
are our two questions?
So
there?
our two things, the first question is, we are a very young married couple in that sense. And one of the most common questions you get asked is,
Fresh out of the aisle.
yeah, it's like, how's marriage? And it's weird because you get asked that question by people that have been married because
Yeah.
I think they expect a certain answer.
Yeah.
And then you get asked that question a lot by people that aren't married,
Yeah.
either looking to get into married or don't want to get married at all.
At
So it's like,
all.
how's marriage? How's marriage? That's one. That's what we're going to try and answer.
Today,
And then part two is, should you get married or not? I think that's a conversation we're having. Like,
It
should you
is.
get married or not?
It is. I think it's an in-depth conversation, G, in its own.
On its
But we'll
own.
try we'll try incorporate both those aspects of the questions into this conversation.
Into the conversation.
Right. So I'm gonna ask you first before you ask me. How's marriage? I'm gonna hijack you.
A marriage is amazing, guys. Kumnandi, kumnandi emshadweni.
Ziawa.
It goes down in the marriage, not in the DM. It goes down in marriage. Honestly, that used to be my default answer.
Yeah.
It honestly is. It used to be as soon as someone asks, how's marriage? It's amazing, it's wonderful, it's the best decision I've ever made.
Yeah.
You're
Which is
too
true.
married. Oh my days, oh, it changed. No, I'm joking.
Is it not
It's still-
true?
No, it's still very true. But I don't know. A part of me felt like that is true. But a part of me kind of felt like I'm deceiving people. Not deceiving people because
like
I know, but not deceiving people in the sense that Uguti, what I just said is not true. But then I think I look at myself from the outside looking in at people that are married, and most of them will just give you that answer. Oh, marriage is amazing. Da, 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 da. But
Shut
the
down
other,
with it.
yeah, but nobody tells you, Uguti, what that amazing comes with. So I think that's where I felt conflicted. So I started coming up with this analogy. Uguti, if you're in business, like I'm in business, when you're in business is one of the most rewarding journeys
Yeah.
that you could ever take. But on the other hand, I do not want to lie to you and tell you go quit your
easy.
job and go start a business because you're going to get there and it's going to be roses and everything is going to be amazing and it's going to be easy. But in as much as it's one of the most rewarding things, which is
Needs a
if
lot
you look
of
at people that financially and in purpose and solving problems and getting fulfillment, business is one of the most amazing things. But speak to anybody who started a business from scratch. They will tell you that it is one of the hardest journeys to take,
Yeah.
but one of the most satisfying and
Rewarding.
most rewarding journeys to take.
100%.
Yeah, so now I'm always trying to balance my answer of marriage is amazing, but I always make that analogy. Guys, marriage is amazing. It's one of the most rewarding journeys you can ever take, but at the same time,
It needs a lot of work.
it needs work, but it's one of the few journeys that will be such a mirror to you.
Yeah.
Marriage will open up who you are. Marriage will open up who you truly are, not the best foot that you put forward. Because there's no pause button.
Yeah, 100%.
That's one. There's no pause
always
button.
showtime.
Yeah, but also two. Marriage has a way of bringing up things that you have suppressed, growing up, right up to when you got married, and it happens. It doesn't all happen at once.
It
As the
happens in
journey,
phases.
it happens in phases. Like as the journey unfolds, realize Uguti Haibo. Yazi, I actually didn't deal with the fact that I didn't have such an amazing relationship with my father, and it manifests in such a weird way.
Yeah.
I know people have a thing of Gucci going to manifest like this. Sometimes it just shows up,
In the smallest things.
yeah, in the smallest weird way,
Day to day, subtle.
subtle things. Then
Yeah.
after a while, when you actually maybe sit down and you look at this, or something happens, and you're like, oh, what's happening is this. But also another challenge I see is that for some people those things start showing up. But because not everybody is trained to see what is actually happening, is that you are now showing up something that you haven't dealt with. People don't resolve that properly, meaning that they don't bring in. And I know, I speak to a lot of people, and a lot of people are like, me, I'll never say a psychologist. There's no need. I can just speak to my friends, and I can just speak to the people around me, and I'll be fine. And in most cases, it is true. There is a lot of space for that. But what I am realizing is, Uguti, there are certain things that show up, and when they do show up, you can't pinpoint it to the root cause because it's so deep in your subconscious mind that you need somebody to help you to dig that out. And although it seems like a personal thing, it does affect your marriage, and when it affects your marriage, now together we have to work together towards that. So that we can come back and be at peace. Oh, this is what was happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, a long way around, I'm trying to balance my answer to being marriage is amazing. But it is a journey that you must be willing to take.
Yeah.
It is a journey that you must be willing to be vulnerable. It is a journey that you must be okay with seeing certain parts of each other that you never thought were there, and working towards them.
You said a lot.
Yeah. It's like so now. Yeah, so
You
now.
said so much.
That's my latest thing. Like every time people ask me, I always do my best to not just answer and say it's amazing. I always say it's amazing, but this is what it comes with. So it's like a business. It's rewarding, but there is a journey in the business.
Yeah. Okay.
How's marriage for you?
I look at it like a garden, right? I look at it like a garden. So I've started growing plants. I'm a plant mom of 4.
Oh,
I'll give you guys their names. My plants have names, which you guys are going to judge me. And I always see it as starting a garden, right? When you start a garden, firstly, you need to, before you get the plants, you need to make sure that the soil is fertile and that the soil is appropriate for the plants that you're trying to get.
True.
You need to get plants that are in season at all times. There's going to come seasons where a specific plant might die and they might not survive the harsh conditions of that particular season. And there's some seasons where particular plants may thrive, right? And when you have a garden, it's your responsibility to get the fertilizer, to water the plants, to do the weeding or whatever, like all of these other nitty-gritty things. And it takes you doing all of that work for the flowers to blossom and to flourish.
That's so true.
So when people come to my house, one of the first things they see is my plants. Because I think they're now at a place where even like my orchid resurrected, guys, like I resurrected an entire orchid all by my little self. We're like the plants are blossoming, like all of them are thriving all at the same time. But no one was there when I had to chop parts of that orchid off because it had died and it had to go into a season of rebirth. So everyone is there to see the blossoming, which is the beauty, which is the TikToks, which is the cute videos that trend, which is the cute statuses. Like everybody sees the bloom or the blossom of the flower, but it's just you and I that see the pruning, that see the chopping down of certain branches, that see the weeding, that experience the buying of the fertilizer, that experience the stress of, okay, this one needs to be watered 5 times a week, this one needs to be watered twice a week, of seeing the differences. And paying attention to the to the specific needs of each plant in each season.
Yeah.
So I always look at marriage like that, you know.
Hey, preach.
The bloom blooms, like the blossom blossoms, but there's so much work that goes into it. And because everything has its seasons, there's going to be seasons where there's going to be things that I'm going to have to deal with in therapy to chop those branches out of my life because they are disrupting the growth of my marriage. There's going to be times where there's certain things that I'm going to have to buy, certain fertilizers that I'm going to have to incorporate in my life through therapy, therapy or other means as a way to sustain the marriage. So if I always make that analogy when somebody asks me to go in depth of what has it been like, because we haven't even been married that long.
Yeah.
But I think in the short space of time that we've been married, like you said, I think I've seen myself more than I ever have in my entire life.
Same here.
I feel like I know myself more. I know the things about myself that I don't like, because like you said, like there's no pause button. It's always showtime, whether you're having a good day or a bad day. It's always showtime in marriage, every day.
It is, all the time.
You know, so it's being mindful of the fact that there's going to be seasons, but there's going to be a lot of work so that people see the blossom, so that people see you guys flourish. I mean, behind every cute video is 2 people who've worked really, really hard to ensure that they sustain that safe space, to be able to be cute with one another and to be able to I don't know, like portray a healthy marriage, because we never want to, because a healthy marriage means that we're going to come up here and tell you guys that, hey, sometimes it's not pretty, but even when it's not pretty, we make it work. But a perfect marriage is going to be us coming to you guys and telling you that everything is great and everything is perfect. And we never want to portray a perfect marriage, because I don't think that there is something called a perfect marriage.
Our pastor used to say, if you find a perfect church, don't go to it.
Don't go to it.
Because you're going to ruin it.
Exactly. So we'd rather portray a healthy marriage by saying that there are challenges, but we work through it. Because I say Kobuyele mover. There's no going back.
Well, that's so powerful. I really love the way that you said it. Guys, you must choose a wise woman, guys.
Wow.
You listen,
Sasha.
guys.
I speak for a living. I get paid to speak, so.
Oh, so this is not wise. So you're not wise now. Is that what you're telling the people? You're telling the people that you're not wise.
So I can guess this wisdom straight out of.
But
yeah.
Question number 2.
What was question number 2?
Question number 2 is, I think this is a fun
Should you
question.
get married?
Should you get married? Like,
Can I answer that question, actually? Can I
then
answer
I'll
it
also
first?
answer.
Yeah.
But should you get married?
I don't think there's a should or shouldn't, right? But I think there is a willing and an unwillingness, right? For instance, we're people of faith. So I'm gonna answer the first part of this question biblically. The Bible says, I have a problem, firstly, guys, I'm sorry. I have a problem with women who, when they're married, they're like, I'd like to thank my husband for making me a wife. I have a problem with that statement.
No, but that could be biased though. Because there could be one point of saying.
Let me explain.
Okay,
Let me explain why I'm saying there's parts of that statement that I have a problem with.
Okay.
Because I feel like it pushes the narrative of it takes, I don't know, like how do I say this how do I say this in a way that's politically correct before I get cancelled?
Listen, we're having our conversations here. We're saying
it may come across as if you're saying that it took someone else to complete a part of you. But biblically it says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor with the Lord. So it doesn't say he who finds a woman and makes that woman a wife finds a good thing. You know what I'm trying to say? It says that so that's what I'm saying, that it's the willingness aspect of it. Like, are you willing to die every single, like we have friends of ours, and we just went to dinner with them a couple of days ago, the Kanyiles. They're amazing. Check them out on Instagram. It's Silo and Knox K.
They just got featured on Forbes.
I know, right?
I just thought I'd say that. And we know them. We went to dinner.
So we had a conversation with them the other day, and I think part of this conversation came up, and they articulated it so nicely because Osilo said, marriage is like waking up every single day and dying. Dying for the sake of the person that you're with. The death of the self for the other, and the death of you for me as well, which means that balances us. So if I die for you and you die for me, then I'm pouring into your cup and you're pouring into mine, so we balanced, right? Okay. So I think it's not a question of one is worthy of marriage or one should or one shouldn't. I think it's a question of, are you willing to be that good thing that can be found, because you become the good thing if you're a woman.
That's so true.
You work on yourself. You validate yourself. You love yourself. You take care of yourself. You become all about you, so that you are a good thing. And then whoever comes into your life finds you complete. They find you good. And it's also the thing of, are you willing to go through the journey of dying of the self every single day to make the other person happy, or like to nurture the marriage. Yes. Yeah. So you can't be married and be self-centered. You can't be married and be selfish.
True.
But not to say that there is no aspect of individuality. So we need to balance that part as well. And in me, I always look at it like this. I always say this. It's not my husband's responsibility. It's not my husband's sole responsibility to make me happy. It's not my sole responsibility to be the only thing or the only person that makes him happy. My responsibility is as the individual part of me. If it makes me happy to go on coffee dates, I should be able to do that by myself. If it makes me happy to go sit at a park and read a book, I should be able to do that by myself and come back to my husband as a happy version. Then happy me and happy him creates a happy marriage.
True.
But it can never, and obviously because of the love that we share for each other, there'll be a lot of things that he'll do that will pour into my happiness and vice versa. But it shouldn't just be about that. So are you willing to be that person? Are you willing to be that person who dies to the self? Are you willing to be that person who balances the fact that in me being an individual, I'm being an individual so that it makes me happy for you? So that the happy and full version of me matches up with the happy and full version of you.
Of me, yeah.
And we create together a happy, fulfilled marriage. Yes. So yeah, that's how I look at it.
I like your perspective, and I really love how you explained it. And I think I'll add to it, maybe in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
About a willing, and I think I think a lot of people have the desire to get married. I think a lot of people are willing to get married or willing to, what's the word? Willing to become the person that they need to be for the marriage. I think the one part of it is that it's weird. You don't have to be perfect or get to a certain stage where you're like, I want to get married now, and I am this person who wants to get married. I think that's the opposite of the question, that I don't think you necessarily ever get to a space where you're perfect, because you're never going to be perfect. So you never do really get to a place where...
It's not the goal.
Yeah, it's not the goal. So that's the opposite end of the question. But just based on some of the conversations I have, I'm a person who loves talking, I love people, and I just collect data. I think some people don't realize it, but I just listen and I just collect data and I look at whether it's digitally or it's conversations or it's just groups that I'm around. I think I see a lot of people who want to get married and have the desire to get married. This is gonna sound bad, and I think shouldn't get married. I personally think they shouldn't. Why? It's because I think people just don't want to. People like the idea of what marriage is. That's what people love the events, the ceremony,
of the flowers,
the blossoming of
the
the
matching
flowers.
outfits.
Yes, I think I've noticed that a lot of people love that, and a lot of people just like knowing Guti, there's someone there, about the companionship. But contrary to that, a lot of people don't want to work and develop themselves. They don't want to work and develop themselves spiritually. They don't want to work and develop themselves in their character, in their beliefs and in their morals and in their values. Within those 5 things, most people don't want to develop those 5 things, but they want the desire of, I want to get married and I want to be with somebody, so they want the product. But not what it takes as far as, not what it takes as far as the foundations are set. So, I don't know, I think we have to get past the idea of just because it looks good, you should do it.
Yeah, it's the instant gratification thing. It's a problem.
Yeah, I think that's where my problem is, or my challenge, or my thought. I think we should get past the thing of everybody should just do it. No, I think there should be a maturity. I understand Zulu, a lot of people would say, hey, it's not coming from a space of, I thought because of age. In English, it means that marriage is not for children. I thought it was an age thing, but I realize now more than ever that it's not necessarily an age thing, but it's a maturity thing.
100%.
So a lot of people don't want to be at the space where they work on those 5 things to be mature enough to say, okay, I'm willing to die to self and actually work on me becoming this person for the person that I'm going to be with. It's not a male or female thing, it's a vice versa thing.
It's never a male or female thing.
So one, you get a lot of a person who says, I'm ready for Mshat, I want to get married. But you look at their beliefs, their morals and their values
their personal development
and their level of integrity, everything is screaming otherwise. You know?
I even say, Guti, I think we should have a thing where we throw people parties and make the theme wedding. Because I feel like other people just want to get that itch.
So you can get the itch, get the itch of having a big party and everybody's
like
dressed in a tuxedo.
A white dress, and you know.
And then that way you get the itch out of your system. But I think, Guti, there is a line. I know that everybody likes to beautify it. I personally, I may not be right. People can mention in the comments, but I personally do think, Uguti, there is a line. And the line should be, you should be, firstly, by yourself, willing to work on those things, on you. And the next person that you also want to marry should also be willing to work on those things. Are you perfect? No. But you both have the maturity level of at least that understanding of, Uguti, I will love you unconditionally. They will love you unconditionally. I've worked on my personal development.
And you continuously do that.
You continuously, yes.
You never stop working on your personal development, even when you're married. I think you work more on your personal development when you're married. In fact, that's what I've seen.
You do, because iron sharpens iron, and like we're saying, there's no pause button. So things are constantly being revealed to you about who you. It's like she is my biggest mirror. You know, if I act out, I see it a lot through her. If I say something I'm not supposed to say, I see it a lot through you. if I'm not dealing with something and
I
it's
respond, I react
somehow
to it.
yeah, so she's
Subconsciously.
also. So you're my biggest mirror. So you even work harder when you're on marriage. But yeah, long story short, I think for me there is a fine line, and there has to be a space of being mature enough.
Yeah.
Not just for you, but mostly for the next person, because marriage, as much as it's one of the most beautiful things, it also can be one of the most hurtful things.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, anybody can tell me something, yeah, well, and I can just quickly brush it off. But because this is the closest person to me, they can say the smallest thing and it can really vice versa. And that's why.
True.
But also going back to, that's why both of you, or do it for yourself, but also do it mostly
In you
for the
doing it
next
for
person.
you, you're actually doing it for your spouse. I think that's what I've noticed.
That's true.
That's what, because if I'm investing in my health, in my mental health, in my spiritual health, in my personal health, that indirectly, automatically invests in you as well.
Yeah.
Because if I'm healthy, then it gives you that ease of, okay, she's okay.
Yeah.
She's flourishing, she's doing well. So I can then now work on myself as well. To live, or not to level up, because then it makes it sound like it's a competition.
No, it's not competition,
Yeah,
it's
but
completion.
like, yes, to complete. Look at you.
No competition, there's completion. But yeah, guys, please, man, hey, let's be responsible with this, man. I mean, yeah.
But kumnandi ziyawa.
No. Listen, don't get me wrong. You know that if you watch our, you will know and you'll understand. Oga, nah.
But one thing that I actually want to point out, Yaz, before we draw this video to an end, I'm so proud of our generation. Listen, we are doing so well. A lot of us come from hurt parents, right? So we are raised by hurt parents. A lot of us have come from families that are hurt, that are broken by the system, that are broken by social, cultural, whatnots. But even though we come from, unfortunately, we come from that line or that lineage, we're doing so well.
We are, eh?
Like, we're doing so well. Like, shout out to us. Shout out to the
our
90s gang.
generation, man. Hey,
Lalela. Shout out to our people. Like, we're trying, we're really, really trying. I've seen so many of my friends who grew up with absent fathers be the most amazing dads. I've seen so many of my friends who grew up with absent mothers be the most amazing moms. And I always say, it instills hope. Like, I'm not worried about our children finding spouses at their age, because I can see so many of us doing it right.
Yeah.
Doing it as best as we can.
As best as we can. The family system is being restored. Like,
slowly but
if
surely.
you know me, I'm very passionate about family systems. That's one of the reasons why our country is going through what we're going through. Unfortunately, our forefathers, didn't have the opportunity to have full families, because the family system had to be broken down in order for certain things to happen. But I'm proud of our generation that is trying to restore the family system.
Like, we're doing so well.
If we restore families, we restore communities. If we restore communities, we restore cities. And next thing you know, we restore a nation, and we restore the rest of
And that's the goal
of Africa. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much
This is
for
our
joining
conversations.
us.
Like, this is literally what we talk about.
It's literally our lives.
But also, we're interested to hear what you think. Two things. Should you get married or not? You can answer that in the comments. Part 2 is, if you are married, what is marriage like? Man? Be honest.
What is a long-term relationship like? What is a serious relationship like? Like, answer it from your own perspective or from your own personal view. I think we'd appreciate it nonetheless.
Hey guys, don't hide behind a long-term relationship. Marry that girl. Marry
Thank you
her.
so much, you guys.
Some people come, I mean, a long time. Hey, wake up. If you are a female in a long-term relationship, you must go to that dude and be like, hey, listen, what is your intention here?
Take him to a jewelry shop and just start fitting rings.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. I say, hey, baby, can you please get into the store for no reason? Oh, okay. As you walk in there, just, this looks good, right?
Right?
Yeah, looks amazing.
Okay, but thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for hopping onto our channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. We appreciate the growth. We really, really do.
Yeah.
And we're trusting God for even more growth. The goal for the channel this year was 1,000 subbies.
Ooh, we need to be more consistent.
But
listen, it's not over.
But we're so grateful. We're so
God
grateful
takes
to
it
everyone
over.
who's taken the time to interact with us, to join us, and to subscribe to the channel. Take care. We love you guys.
The
Bye.
maps, we're out. Peace.